Welcome to Case Law Videos. Today we are going to discuss about a landmark judgment of the Delhi High Court dated August 6, 2020 on matrimonial litigation. Justice J.R. Midha observed that in matrimonial cases, the court has to ascertain the financial capacity or status of both the parties for fixing maintenance. In many developed countries, the law prescribes a comprehensive format of assets, income and expenditure to be filed by both the parties at the very threshold of matrimonial litigation. However, there is no provision of law in our country for directing the parties to disclose their assets, income and expenditure in a particular format. This court, after considering the international best practices, issued directions and formulated an affidavit of assets, income and expenditure to be filed by both parties at the very threshold of matrimonial litigation. In the earlier judgments, this court considered 10 affidavits of assets, income and expenditure used in 5 countries. 50 more formats of affidavits of assets, income and expenditure of various countries namely USA, UK, Ireland, Singapore, Canada, Australia and South Africa have now come to the notice of this court, thereby warranting modification of the judgment. The family courts have sent their response, feedback and further suggestions to the working of the guidelines mentioned in the judgment which have been considered by this court. Mr. Sunil Mittal, Senior Advocate and Ms. Anu Narula, Advocate, assisting this court as amici curiae, have given further suggestions which have also been considered. Modified directions. Maintenance is not merely a legal right. It is part and parcel of basic human right. For weaker sections, it is a problem in the sense that their very survival rests upon the maintenance. The object of providing maintenance is twofold: firstly, to prevent vagrancy resulting from strained relations between the husband and wife, and secondly, to ensure that the indigent litigating spouse is not handicapped in defending or prosecuting the case due to want of money. On the breakdown of the marriage, it often so happens that the husband pays nothing for the support of his wife and children, and the wife has to fall back upon her parents and relatives to fend for her immediate needs. Reasonableness too demands extension of such a relief in favor of a needy spouse. Had not the parties drifted away from one another, the spouse, from whom support is sought, would have supported the other spouse, entailing financial burden. Hence, it is but natural to make the husband bear the cost of maintaining his wife pending disposal of any dispute until some permanent relief is provided to her. In Bhuvan Mohan Singh vs. Meena, the Supreme Court held that any delay in adjudication of maintenance cases by the family court is not only against human rights but also against the basic embodiment of dignity of an individual. The object of the provisions for grant of maintenance is to provide speedy remedy for supply of food, clothing and shelter to the deserted wife and to prevent vagrancy and destitution. The observations of the Supreme Court are as under. The delay in adjudication by the family court is not only against human rights but also against the basic embodiment of dignity of an individual. The concept of sustenance does not necessarily mean to lead the life of an animal, feel like an in-person, to be thrown away from grace and roam for her basic maintenance somewhere else. She is entitled in law to lead a life in the similar manner as she would have lived in the house of her husband. That is where the status and strata come into play, and that is where the obligations of the husband, in case of a wife, become a prominent one. In a proceeding of this nature, the husband cannot take subterfuges to deprive her of the benefit of living with dignity. A 3-judge bench in Vimla vs. Veeraswamy, while discussing about the basic purpose under Section 125 of the Code, opined that Section 125 of the Code is meant to achieve a social purpose. The object is to prevent vagrancy and destitution. It provides a speedy remedy for the supply of food, clothing and shelter to the deserted wife. The family judge is expected to be sensitive to the issues, for he is dealing with extremely delicate and sensitive issues pertaining to the marriage and issues ancillary thereto. When we say this, we do not mean that the family courts should show undue haste or impatience, but there is a distinction between impatience and to be wisely anxious and conscious about dealing with a situation. A family court judge should remember that the procrastination is the greatest assassin of the list before it. It not only gives rise to more family problems but also gradually builds unthinkable and everlasting bitterness. It leads to the cold refrigeration of the hidden feelings, if still left. The delineation of the list by the family judge must reveal the awareness and balance. Dilatory tactics by any of the parties has to be sternly dealt with, for the family court judge has to be alive to the fact that the list before him pertains to emotional fragmentation and delay can feed it to grow. We hope and trust that the family court judges shall remain alert to this and decide the matters as expeditiously as possible, keeping in view the objects and reasons of the Act and the scheme of various provisions pertaining to grant of maintenance, divorce, custody of child, property disputes, etc. In Pratibha Rani vs. Suraj Kumar, 1985 Volume 2 SCC 370, Justice Fazil Ali made the following remarks while dealing with the rights of a woman in a matrimonial dispute. Sometimes the law which is meant to impart justice and fair play to the citizens or people of the country is so torn and twisted by a morbid interpretative process that instead of giving haven to the disappointed and dejected litigants, it negatives their well-established rights in law. The present case reveals the sad story of a helpless married woman who, having been turned out by her husband without returning her ornaments, money and clothes despite repeated demands, and dishonestly misappropriating the same, seems to have got some relief by the court of the first instance, but to her utter dismay and disappointment when she moved the High Court, she was forced like a dumb-driven cattle to seek the dilatory remedy of a civil suit. In Sonia Khurana vs. State, the Delhi High Court held that maintenance petitions warrant expeditious disposal. The relevant portion of the said judgment is reproduced hereunder. In this case, the petitioners state that they are destitutes and without any means of livelihood. It is for this reason that they have filed the proceedings under Section 125, CR.PC. They have also prayed for fixation of interim maintenance to get immediate support. Such a plea of the petitioners has to be adjudicated upon by the courts without any delay and as expeditiously as possible. No doubt, a judge is supposed to decide the case before him, her according to law. Article 14 of the Constitution of India also stipulates equality before law and there cannot be any discrimination on the ground of sex, caste, religion, etc. Justice is open to all and nobody is disputing that. However, at the same time, we have to recognize that it does not happen in practice, or at least that positive step must be taken to ensure that there is real equality and fairness for all in the justice process. How a judge arrives at the decision, that is the decision-making process, and how a judge treats those who come before him, her, are the factors which are as important as the decision itself. Whereas all cases need to be decided expeditiously, as speedy justice is a part of right to life enshrined in Article 21 of the Constitution of India. Such a need would be much more in the cases of socially and/or economically backward people and the cases raising social issues. The case of destitute wife, child seeking maintenance would definitely fall in this category. Therefore, in a case like this, issuing the notice on the preliminary hearing for a date after 10 months would itself be travesty of justice. More so, when the law also mandates that this aspect has to be considered and to be decided within a period of 2 months. In Govindrao Ranoji Musale vs. Anandibai, the Bombay High Court observed that Hindu Marriage Act, 1955 is a piece of social welfare legislation. In Geeta Satish Gokarna vs. Satish Shankar Rao Gokarna, the Bombay High Court held that permanent alimony and maintenance are a larger part of the right to life. Burden of proving the income. In matrimonial cases, the maintenance is claimed on the basis that the claimant has no independent income to support, or the income of the claimant is not sufficient to maintain with the same lifestyle as it was before the matrimonial discord. The monthly income of one party may not very often be within the knowledge of the other party, particularly when the relationship is considerably strained and the spouses are living apart for a considerable period. The true income of the parties is within their personal knowledge, and Section 106 of the Indian Evidence Act specifically casts the burden of proof of the income on them. This court is of the view that a detailed affidavit of the assets, income and expenditure of both the parties is necessary to determine their true income. The affidavit of assets, liabilities, income and expenditure of the parties is necessary not only to fix the maintenance under Section 24 but also to determine the permanent alimony under Section 25 of the Hindu Marriage Act and right to the joint properties under Section 27 of the Hindu Marriage Act. Conclusion. The court has to ascertain the financial capacity, status of the parties for determining the maintenance and permanent alimony. A comprehensive affidavit of assets, income and expenditure of both the parties is necessary to determine their financial capacity, status. upon completion of the pleadings in the maintenance application, the court shall fix the date for reconciliation and direct the parties to simultaneously file the affidavits of their assets, income and expenditure. The court shall also direct the party seeking maintenance to produce the passbook of his/her savings bank account in which maintenance can be directly deposited, transferred by the opposite party. The court shall simultaneously take on record the affidavit of assets, income and expenditure of both the parties. The simultaneous filing of the affidavit by the parties is very important and should be strictly adhered to. The simultaneous filing of the affidavit by the parties would avoid any undue advantage to the party who files his/her affidavit later. It is clarified that the affidavit of assets, income and expenditure is not to be filed along with the petition, application, or written statement, reply. Matrimonial jurisdiction deserves a special attention and the maintenance applications should be decided expeditiously. This court is of the view that the mandatory filing of the affidavit of assets, income and expenditure by the parties in a detailed prescribed form should be incorporated in the statutes, as in the developed countries. Let this suggestion be considered by the central government. Copy of this judgment along with Annexures A2 be sent to Mr. Chetan Sharma, Learned Additional Solicitor General for taking up the matter with Ministry of Law and Justice. National Judicial Academy is reporting the best practices of the High Courts on their website www.nja.nic.in under the head of Practices and Initiatives of various High Courts. Copy of this judgment along with Annexures A2 be sent to National Judicial Academy. Subscribe this channel and press bell icon for more case law videos.